Welcome everyone to a new mod showcase. I can't believe the day has come. I made a mod and I'm gonna show you what it does. Okay, so the mod is called Fluent and you can find it right now on Modrinth. And what it does essentially is it expands just that tiny little bit more on the trial chambers and what you can find in them. So let's get into it. Alright, so our first item is the flute. You've already seen me holding it. It's this very nice flute, and it's a really simple item. It's just the base item. What it does is you can play it and it makes some sounds. And you can kinda... Anyway, the way to get this flute is where things get a little more interesting. Okay, so we're at the trial chamber now, and I fully geared myself up because it would be really embarrassing if I died. And I'll show you how to get everything. Alright, so what we're looking for are these decorated pots. And as you can see, they're actually kind of rare, but you get about 1 to 3 in every pot that you get them in. And you need 1 per flute. And the second thing we need is, hopefully in this room, is a breeze. Perfect. Alright. So let's... Alright. Alright, that's 1. And again, we need only 1 per flute. So there's one more thing we need to get, or hopefully I get it right now. Not what incredible, not what I needed. There's our guy. Alright. Okay, so we're back on the surface, and I'm actually gonna get rid of everything that I don't need. We'll need this for later, but for now we just need these guys. The oxidized copper end and the breeze rod. You can find it in the creative menu in here. We'll get to this one later, it's nice. It doesn't do much. So, to craft it, we're gonna need a crafting table, and we're gonna place it down, and we're simply going to put them like this. You can put them anywhere on the crafting table, and you'll get a flute. How nice. And again, you can kind of just... Okay, so now that we got all that out of the way, we can start making our other flutes. Now, our second flute is a very simple one. You can craft it like so, with 2 blaze powders and glowstone dust in the other way around. And you get a spectral flute. Now that we have the spectral flute, what we can do is right click with it and get ourselves a couple seconds of night vision and glowing as well. And it doesn't apply only for us. If we go underground, we play this in a cave, it'll show us every other entity inside the cave, so it makes finding caves really easy, which I think is really neat. Now the next flute is a little more pricey, as you can see, but it is really good for combat. And the way it's crafted is with 3 wither roses and a soul soil, and you'll get the wither flute. So if we play it right now, you'll see this burst. What this flute does is if you get close to a mob and you play it, it'll give them the wither effect. And something that's probably important to mention is that this flute does come with a price. It does 3.5 damage to you when you use it, but every... Sorry, this is hard to explain. Every 2 mobs that get caught in the blast give you 2 levels of regen. Starting at 2, you saw it for a second there. Alright, so yeah, it can be really useful in situation of crowd control. Okay, so the 4th flute is a bit more tame, and it's probably my favorite. So it is called the wind flute, and the way you craft it is with 3 wind charges and 3 diamonds. And we're gonna grab that. So after crafting this, you get this cool looking flute, and with a familiar... You place a platform, and this platform is made out of squall blocks and gust blocks, and we'll get to those in a second, but I just wanna really show the capabilities of the flute here, because it is crazy. If we get a wind charge, and we jump up and we place a... And look at that, just like that, we're up like 6 blocks in the air, and I think it's neat. And I think Okay, so I have an 11 block jump here, and if we time it right, we can make it without an issue. Which I think is really cool. It takes a bit of practice, but it's really cool and useful once you got this down. It also, when you use it on the ground, it gives you a 2-block boost, so you can just get up on 2 blocks, just like that, which is really useful. So now looking again at the squall blocks and the gust blocks, you might have noticed that if I place them down, they don't actually fall, you don't get them. And for that to happen, you need to throw a wind charge at them. And you'll get the squall block every time, and you'll get about half the gust blocks, and then you can place them down. And they'll stick around, they don't break instantly like they would with the flute. And they work very similarly to scaffolding blocks in the way that they're dependent on this original block. And you can go out 14 blocks with them. Yeah, just like that. And if you want to, you can then throw a wind charge, and all of them will fall after you place them down yourself. Which is awesome. I love these guys. Look at this. Wait, that was really bad. And if you time it just right, you can just keep going up. And I mean, it takes a bit of a... just the tiniest bit of practice, but I mean, look at that. And also, they save you from just the tiniest bit of fall damage. They do it way more if you have chainmail boots, so here, we'll do a little test. I'm gonna game with survival myself. Oh, I'm gonna die. Okay, so now we'll test it. If I game with survival and I click it, it doesn't save me from that much damage. But if I do it again, with the chainmail boots equipped, you'll see when I fall, I take way less damage than I would have. So that's cool. Okay, so the last flute is a very simple one, but it's really powerful, and it's called the heavy flute. That's why we have our heavy core. It is crafted like so, and to show you what it does, we're gonna go on a little road trip. Okay, so we're now at the deep dark, and we're gonna need to find a warden to show you what it does. And that is 3. Where is he? Doesn't he spotlight? Okay, let's see. Oh, he spawned. Okay. So that's scary. He's a scary lad. I don't need to worry because I have... Oh god, he sees me. So now that he does, I can use the flute and make him retreat. Ooh. Once the cooldown runs out, I can show you the particle that comes with it. If I can just stop panicking. 3, 2, 1. Oh, so that's really cool. So yeah, that's what it does. Use it wisely because it has a really big cooldown. Yeah, so that's what the heavy flute does. And that's all the flutes. But before I leave, there's one more thing that I need to show you, which is this flute stand. And the way to craft it is with your oxidized copper end. You can make them into an ingot, which also you can just make a block out of, which I think is really cool. You can take one of these and combine it with 3 tough bricks, and that would get you a flute stand. So if we place it down, as if it wasn't placed before, we can take our flutes and we can put them on and just display them in a world. So yeah, we can just place the flutes around and swap them and all that good stuff. And yeah, that's the mod. Nothing too crazy, just something I thought would be nice to add. Again, it's available on Modrinth right now. You can download it if you want to. I think it's pretty cool. I love the sound design. I mean, that's badass. What can you say? And hopefully it'll be on more platforms soon. I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a good one. Goodbye.